Brothers and sisters, generals, and welcome to another edition of EBX discussion and/or hip hop what ifs, as I like to call it. And if you ride along on this channel, you'll see past audio or videos where I kind of spoke on hip hop, and I got other audio where I spoke on hip hop what ifs. Just one thoughts and passions and speak on great artists and those who really had a passion for hip hop, R&B, or music in general, and melanated brothers and sisters, and those who have a real love for art and music, hip hop, R&B, I'm talking about good music from the soul. Of course, we talk about all real things that's connected to making music, and we're all different walks of life, but we talking about real, genuine, divine spirit to the pit of the soul type music, when we really feel it, through the growth spurts and the different mindsets and the changes we go through in art and rap and R&B and doing music. And I always got to give that disclaimer, I don't know everything there is about hip hop. I've learned just like everyone else along the way. It's just different areas in our minds and thoughts and perspectives we have on artists, music, hip hop, R&B, and music. Because at the end of the day, it's to make us feel better within. Maybe we learn from it, or it could be something just to make us feel good. A good song we remember that we all got that favorite song that we like that reminds us of times in our lives, but it all comes down to what we always say, that good old mindset. And I will forever love hip hop. I love all music. As I said, I love Jamaican, African. I like classical music. I love listening to different instruments. I don't just listen to words. I like instrumentals. And it's wonderful, and it's good for the psyche, as I said on a podcast about how positive music can be beneficial to the mind. I don't remember exactly what the title was, but I think it was the benefits of positive music. Good music, of course, with the real stuff, and we can become a little gangster. But let's talk about let's convey a righteous gangster, because as we know, as melanated brothers and sisters, as artists, and I'm not just talking about music. I'm talking about an artist overall. But of course, since we're talking about hip hop, I'll be talking about music too. But any gift, because I don't ever want to size it down to just music. Melanated brothers and sisters, those with a love and a passion. We can do anything. That great divine, we all have many gifts that we can develop within. Music is just one of them. We have to broaden our thinking, our creative mind, and know that we have many tools and gifts that we can add to this life, humanity, and/or culture, and forge forward and keep investing in the things that make us feel better, stronger, and greater, as I said on a recent podcast a few days ago. But it takes practice to develop these things. Where? In the pit of our soul, because that's where that great divine man lays or lies, in the pit of our soul. When we get to the bottom, as I always like to say, hit the bottom of that barrel, thong, because it's so wonderful when we can just breathe and we're just being who we are without hurting ourselves or hurting no one else. Because if we're hurting ourselves, eventually we'll hurt others. Because the old saying go, and I said it recently, hurt people. But I just wanted to speak on, I'm always going to give some insight, because there were those that lifted me up, whether it was in my family or brothers and sisters and generals one has met along the way. Salute. Honor those jewels we pick up along the way. It's wonderful. keep them in our spiritual righteous memory bank. And we never know when we have to pull up those righteous tools that we have invested in for decades, some of us, and we pass it on to our youth, have that supersonic superhero clarity. We got to speak powerful like that. We ain't a victim of shit. We are generals out here. Even those that don't think they are, tap into it. Yes, you are. Stop saying we can't. That's actually something my son's mother teach her children. Never say that word can't. There's always a way and there's always a solution. But let's get back to hip hop. Hip hop, what ifs. And salute to Pimp C, which is on my banner here. May he rest in peace and in power. And sometimes things just pop up in our spirit, and artists like him. And may they rest in peace and in power, especially the true artists that meant well, that just, this sometimes, not the system all the time, but some of it, can deter us. And, my heart goes out to the artists that fought hard for their humanity and for them to be a brother or a sister or a woman or a man that's no longer with us. May they rest in peace and in power, as well as in our family. But I'm kind of speaking on artists right now that left an impact, and I'll kind of speak on a few artists that are not here, maybe a couple or two or three. And I actually have a list of artists that I would, that's why I call this hip hop what ifs. And thank those that's been riding along, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. I appreciate you, family, brother, sister, general, salute. And I have a list of artists that's been kind of tinkering around in my spirit for a long time. Some artists, how people like watch football and they have those, what do they call it? Like fictional playlists or something like that. It's like a playlist. And, I used to see people do it I never got into it because I'm not really into sports. I like sports, but I'm not into it like that. But you know how people make those, I don't know what they call it, but some kind of lists where they want different, if they had like imaginary teams play against each other, whatever. So this is kind of what list like I have a lot of artists that I've always thought about that I want to collab. And it's kind of like a bucket list, and I just want to name some of my favorite artists. And any artist I don't name, it doesn't mean I don't like them or nothing. It's just artists I can think of off the top of my head. And now, again, a lot of us get to a level where we become self-aware. We think different, so I'll go back to when I was young and up to now. Now when I was young, just listening to music and going to the club and really wasn't listening to the words and all that, just feeling the vibe, as we all had went through at some point or another, brother or sister. But we get to a space when we are aware and we appreciate hip hop or any kind of music. But I always like to reiterate something I learned from Professor Griff. High infinite power helping our people. Hearing him say that helped me so much, because when we listen to someone that really has insight on hip hop and really are educated about it, and you get something from it and you learn and you incorporate it, it helps you to see, the real meaning of hip hop and music in general. So I salute Professor Griff, who have had a profound impact on hip hop, hands down. So salute to Professor Griff. Is another vital tool in this life. We got to pay attention to those vital tools that are in our lives, whether it's in our family, reaches and teaches in the world, or online. Emphasis on real. And that's for me too now. I got to keep myself in check, because we can't have no righteous ripple effect if we're toxic and doing dumb shit. Now, we work through our shit so we can become better, and then we will see and have clarity. It's wonderful. So I want to name some artists. And again, before I keep going, rest in peace and in power, Pimp C. I kind of got off track. And as we all know, he was one of the real ones. And he's been tinkering around in my spirit. I've always liked Pimp C. And even outside of the artist, of him being an artist and doing music, just him as a character, he just had this light about him that was unlike no other. As I said in the podcast, a true brother is unlike no other. And I talked about Bernie Mac. He had that same kind of character. It's just people couldn't match his intensity, his trueness, his realness. People couldn't match that in Pimp C. That's probably why a lot of people were distant. Some now, those that were against him, distance themselves, because he had that energy. He had that. I want to say, there are many that have that true energy. And I want to say, I'm just going to use Tupac as an example. That Tupac energy. It's a lot of artists that has that Tupac energy. Real talk. So I just always like to keep in mind, and something I like to teach. No one's better, just different. That's what to keep us from beefing and comparing and competing. See the gifts and the good qualities in all of us, brother or sister, especially if we're an artist, R&B, hip hop. We talk about some good music from the soul, and mixed to talking about the real shit, because you gotta talk about the real shit too. And so I want to salute Corrupt. Corrupt been saying some real shit too on the internet. I don't have him on the list, but like I said, if I don't name someone, it doesn't mean I don't like him or nothing. Just whatever pops in one's spirit. But Corrupt been saying some real stuff, and he said something recently that was dope. And he told a younger artist that he showed him that what was real in hip hop and what was entertainment. And I thought that was beautiful. And a salute to brothers that just going to their higher self and not afraid of speaking the truth. That's wonderful. So salute to Corrupt, and I'm gonna have to add him to my list. I like Corrupt, so I'm gonna go through this list, and these are just artists that popped in my spirit, and these are artists that I would love to hear collab on a song. So I'm gonna get started because it's kind of a big list. All right, first off the top is Tech Nine. I love Tech Nine. You always hear me mention Tech Nine. Very dynamic rapper. And the next one is Busta Rhymes. I would love to hear those two collab. And I like fast rapping. I like any style of rap or any style of an artist. But fast rapping is unique to me. I can do it on some things, but I have to work hard at it. But some artists, it's natural. So that's why I like Tech Nine, and Busta Rhymes. So I got Tech Nine, Busta Rhymes, Twister, Royce Die, 5'9". I love his style. Got Ludacris. And Ludacris can rap fast. And I was actually listening to Ludacris recently, and I was listening to the song with him and Sierra. It was Sierra featuring Ludacris called "Oh," and man, his Ludacris, Sierra was dope too. Salute to Sierra too, and many other female artists, sisters that are true artists, that are really leaving an impact in this music. But she was dope too. But Ludacris, that verse, that I can't really remember the verse right offhand, but you remember in the part when he said, I forget what he said, but at the beginning he said something. He said he about to do something, and he go click, 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 click. I love that. And then he goes to, I'm about to make another hit. So you better get. I mean, the verse is just dope. I love Ludacris's style. So I had to put him on there because I was trying to think of dynamic rappers who rap fast and just have that, I don't know, that style, so Ludacris is on there. And the next one, remember, these are artists that I would love to hear collab with one another. Remember, no one's better, just different. We gotta learn that, so just one's opinion, theory. All right, Ludacris, Eminem, he's a fast, dynamic rapper. And remember, I'm looking at the artist side of the artist, their music. I'm not looking at nothing personal or nothing like that. We're just talking about the art, okay. And after Eminem is Hopsin. I love Hopsin, and I actually come upon Hopsin through Tech Nine. That's how I come upon Hopsin, so and we all, if you've heard Hopsin, very dynamic on the mic. And my next one is B.O.B. I've always been a big man. I love B.O.B. Salute B.O.B. And of course, Kendrick Lamar. Now, remember, these are all artists I would love to collab together. And the next one, Kanye West. Come on now. Kanye West is brilliant and a genius. Another one, KRS-One. Come on now. Now, we got to have some golden school. I don't call it old school. I call it golden school. KRS-One. Very educated, firm, has stood his ground for many decades. So salute. I got to have KRS-One on there. And Bone Thugs and Harmony, because of their style, I love to hear them collab with all those artists I just named before them. Chuck D, come on now. Power, Fight the Power. Are you kidding me? That's a part of Professor Grift I talked about earlier, And Chuck D, salute, love to hear him in these artists collab. And if Tupac was alive, may he rest in peace and in power. I had Tupac on the list. I would love to hear. It would have been nice to hear him collab with a lot of these artists. And Mystical, I love Mystical style. We know Mystical's dynamic. J. Cole, I love J. Cole. We know he's real. Always kept it genuine. Snoop Dogg, I like how. Now we know Snoop Dogg had his gangster side and his thug side, but look at the Snoop now. Look how Snoop has changed. And it's always been in Snoop. But again, we all go through a growth spurt. We all become a man. We supposed to, or a woman, or a sister, or a brother. So that's why I put Snoop on the list, because I've been listening to Snoop here lately too. And again, as I said, Snoop is, I love this. I love the old Snoop because, again, I haven't always been aware. We get to a space where it gets real. So I salute Snoop for, reflecting on what things that he's done and bettering himself. So that's why I put Snoop on the list. Because again, I look at the artist form and I look at the character of the artist. So all right. And the next one, as I said, J. Cole, and a salute to J. Cole. I loved him in All My Life, and the other artist that was on there. What was his name? Lil Durk. Salute to Lil Durk. I should have put him on there. But that was one of my favorite songs by J. Cole and Lil Durk. Salute All My Life. And we all can relate to that song. And it was for kids. And that's wonderful when we can make music that can relate to the children. I mean, really relate and connect to them. Real talk. All right. And the next artist is DMX. May he rest in peace and in power. And we already know he had that Tupac energy. Not that no one was their own individual. I'm just using Tupac as an example. Parallel, not competitive, not better, just different. So DMX, rest in peace and in power. And, I loved DMX as a person, and I loved him as an artist, And hey, he wasn't perfect. He had to work through growth spurts just like all of us. So salute and rest in peace and in power to DMX. And the next one is Nipsey Hussle. Now, like many of us, I've heard some of Nipsey Hussle's music, but I haven't heard a lot of it. And I really didn't know him until, unfortunately, and find out till he transitioned. May he rest in peace and in power. So I didn't want to be doing like other people, just jump on the bandwagon because it's a media thing and a click thing. So, but I did generally go and listen to his music, and I have heard some of his interviews, and I wish I would have heard more of his music and knew him more before he transitioned. And that's why I say, man, that's why Tupac was so adamant and said we can't waste time and do what we need to do as brothers and sisters, as well as do our music too. And I'm just talking about in life in general, and do what we need to do and don't waste time on this divine walk. Because when we are a force to be reckoned with, and that's brother, sister, family member, anyone that's listening, general, I'm telling you, we'll be like that nature. When we blend in with that divine spirit and move like nature, nothing can mess with us as an artist, as a singer, as an individual, as a brother, a sister, as a teacher, as a leader. It's in all of us, and a student of human nature and mama nature. When we incorporate these things in our lives, we will have clarity. We will see the good gifts in others. Like I just read all these artists, and it's a lot of artists out there that are great. Again, if I didn't say anybody on the list, it's not that I don't like them or nothing. But these are just artists that, I listen to from time to time. And I should have put, it's another artist that I always talk about. I got to remember his name. I should have put him on the list. Exhibit. I should have put Exhibit on there. I like Exhibit. That's another one. He's another true brother that made it through the BS. And, I've seen him in interviews. Very genuine brother. I like brothers like that can hold that balance. It's like they can be tough, but they can be smooth and calm at the same time. But they give this energy. You still know that they ain't taking no shit, but they still cool at the same time. And that's wonderful. And, I even mentioned another brother that I like. I like Doggy Diamond. I think Doggy Diamond is dope. And I think Doggy Diamond he kind of puts me in, he's done some major things in hip hop, culture. You really can't. It's some individuals that you can't talk about hip hop culture and not involve them. I would have to involve Doggy Diamond, and I normally don't like saying names, but I'm just acknowledging those that contribute to hip hop, in one way or another. And, again, none of us are perfect, but some of us have contributed in some good ways and made a good impact to hip hop. And Professor Griff, Chuck D, and Doggy Diamond was definitely one of those. So, because I know Doggy Diamond go through a lot, man, and put up with a lot of crap. So I'm one of them brothers that salute him because I've learned some stuff from him, and I'm telling you, I see why his name is Doggy Diamonds, because he dropped jewels. I heard him say that one time because I never knew. He said that. I was like, wow. And it makes sense because he dropped jewels. He do, but hey, no one's perfect though. But what's in the heart? When we know what's in the heart, that's what set us straight. And the brother has a good heart. I don't care what nobody says. He has a good heart. So as many of us that mean well and speaking truth on this walk. So that was something that was in my soul, something that was tinkering around in my spirit. Hip hop, what ifs? And those are a few artists that I named. And I really don't like saying names because I don't do it. I don't say names out of respect, as I said to my son, Lord Lamont. And we'll be speaking in the next podcast. Me and him it'll be a hip hop what ifs, because he likes music. I like music. Got music right here on my channel. If you want to check it out, just stroll through and check out some stuff. I just did a song recently called "I'ma Lift You Up," and whatever it takes to keep that light shining, and keep us smart and keep us going in that intellectual direction and not beefing and going against one another. Again, we have fun, enjoy ourselves, and we talk about the gangster, the harsh side of life, but we don't dwell in it. We draw energy from it. And as I said in a recent podcast, as Shaka Zulu did, he turned his hate for evil entities into love for his people. And think of those who rode along with him, because they were just as strong. Trust me. You know how much trust they had to have in Shaka Zulu, and he didn't lead them astray. I'm telling you, just think if Shaka Zulu didn't exist and many other people that Great Divine put on this planet that are not with us. What if they never existed? What if they never fought? What if they didn't give a damn and only cared about themselves? How would life be? How would things be different? That's a question, So we got to appreciate and honor those who fought hard, and it was just evil entities around them that was pulling on them, and knew what they were trying to do. But again, you can take away the body, but you can't take away the spirit, especially if it was a righteous impact and it meant well. And that's brother or sister, any brother or sister that left a righteous impact, whether they were artists or not. And some of them we talk about from history today. I thank them, that they didn't give up. I thank Shaka Zulu and many others like him, not just him. He's just an example. I just like to use him because that was so many centuries before now, and it's wow, he would laugh at what some individuals, Great Divine gives us so many gifts and powers, and those who are evil and toxic and don't care, cock it all up. And then what do? That woulda, coulda, shoulda shit. Stay away from that. Stay on fire, And we make a little mistake about in our human body, be honest about it. Don't continue it though. The thing is to stop, forge forward, stand strong, and stay doing our music. Those who love music like I do. I love hip hop. I love music. Like I say, Jamaican, African, reggae, classic, jazz, some soft rock, got to have a beat to it. I don't like that heavy metal crap. I just, hey, I have a right to like certain music, but I ain't into heavy metal. But I like soft rock, if it got a beat to it, and if it's got some kind of meaning and it's talking about something. Again, we can talk about the aggressive side and the gangster side and the thug and the hood and all that, but make sure it's coming from a place of a righteous intent. And we love our music and not just doing it to just be doing it, have a meaning behind it. It's more fulfilling, and it makes our music whole, but again, I just like to talk about artists, and not talk about them, but, speak on artists. And again, that was a list of some of my favorite artists and I think about, and I would love to hear them collab. Like I said, it's kind of a bucket list, So salute to those who have the love of hip hop like I do, in any art, and have a passion, period. Again, I'm talking about hip hop, what is, but that's in anything we love. That's righteous though, and it's an impact to the world. And of course, it ain't always got to be seen and in this big spotlight. We can start right where we are. That's something I like to say. So salute to all the artists in music or not, and thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion, and salute for what Pimp C left behind. I thank him for having the courage, as many brothers like him that are not here, that were artists. May they rest in peace and in power. And saluting on my generals, my family, brother or sister, young or old. Keep listening to that golden music and keep being the generals we are. And this has been another this has been another edition of Hip Hop What Is. Salute, y'all.